Look what just came into the workshop. This reed pipe cutter. This thing's as old as the hills. And it was built back when tools were over-engineered to last forever. But after decades of rust and neglect, can it still cut pipe like it's the year 1949? Let's find out as we restore, test and put this American classic back to work. My name's Stuart and thanks for joining. I mean, we can see the general condition. It's very oxidated. It's been abandoned somewhere for a long time. I did make a few mistakes during this restoration and they will come to light a little bit later. Yeah, these split pins gave me a little bit of a headache. But just trying to get the pins out now. These are the pins with the rollers. The rollers and the cutter, they move on these pins. There we can see the cutter. It doesn't look to be in too bad condition. So these are the two rollers. They were seized up. Please feel free to like and subscribe, but as always I think the comments are always welcome and very much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, there we are. One of these pins is broken. It's been broken for years. It's oxidized on the brake. So I think this is going to mean making two new pins here. Yeah, look at that. I don't know how that would have been broken, but it was. You may have noticed, but I've got some very enthusiastic singing birds outside. It's actually very pleasant. Beautifully made piece of steel, this is basically the part that retains the threaded part. So now we should be able to remove that carriage from the body. Amazing handle on that. Yeah, and she's off. That's a nice casting. You did a good job with that. So those are all the pieces. It's now disassembled, and we can see clearly we can see the broken pin, and we can see the extent to which it needs to be cleaned up and restored. The handle on that threaded part is steel. That did give me some trouble. So we're going to start by cleaning up this part. So I've decided to use a shot blaster. It's the easiest way really to get an initial cleaning. Now I've speeded it up. There's no point watching it slowly going through. This is about an 80 mesh aluminium oxide. So we can see now that the piece has a uniform finish, which is what we wanted to achieve. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of abrasive on the edges. This is a belt sander. It's a belt sander made for steel. It's not a wooden one. It's not for wood, I mean. And just trying to get these faces and profile cleaned up. A little bit of the wire wool. No, I'm talking complete rubbish. It's not a wire wool, it's a wire brush, sorry. Yeah, this is a flat wheel with about a 60 or 80 mesh abrasive. They give a reasonably good finish, but we'll take it to something finer now. This is a fibre abrasive. It's very good for getting into little nicks and crannies, and it gives a very uniform finish. So now that's ready, and it's been masked off. So we're going to have a look at this casting as well. This is a rather nice piece. Again, we're going to give it some shot blasting to give it a little bit of a uniform finish. There is a part on this which has been damaged, and I'll show you a bit later. It needs to be restored. And this is the handle, again, with that famous steel handle. Just giving that a shot blasting again. The truth is I tried to take it off, but it was impossible. And in the end I've decided to leave it as it is, which will give me some difficulties, but it won't be impossible. Just using a wire brush here. I mean, you can generally say with this particular tool that it was looked after. It may have been looked after for many, many years, and then it got into disrepair because of some unknown reason. Maybe somebody passed away or whatever, I don't know. But it must have been used for many, many years. This is not something I would recommend to do at home. So we've basically got a spinning piece there, so this has to be done very carefully, not to avoid an accident. This is the part that retains the thread into the body of the carriage. Just giving it a clean up, doesn't need any more than that. Now this part, that's where it's been damaged. It's been used as a hammer at some stage, I don't really know why. So it needs to be brought back flat again, and that's what I'm doing here. So basically all these parts are going to be painted. So it's a question to give them a reasonable clean-up. So I'm just putting those pieces back there, and now picking up these pins. I did mention earlier on in the video that I think I need to make 2 more of those pins, make a pair, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm making them out of a piece of stainless steel that I had. Just basically machining them down, checking them with a micrometer, and now they fit okay. I'll have to make some drilling into the end, so the roller's okay, they're okay, spin on there. I'm just parting them off. I'm actually making 2, but I'm just showing the manufacturer of one of them. I think that's okay. Just machining down my head now. So you can see now I've set the pin up in a milling machine, and I'm going to drill the hole at a distance, a set distance, for the split pin. This is the other pin which survived, and it's the pin where the cutter runs on. So I'm just giving it a clean up with some, I don't know, I think they call it Scotch Brite or something. This like an abrasive mop. There we are. There's the pins all finished. Now I'm going to look at the cutters. Sorry, the rollers and the cutter. Just made a thing up here so that the cutter can spin. I'm using this same, I think it's called, again, Scotch Brite, and it works very well in most cases. And what I'm doing here is I'm using a diamond sharpening stone just to give this cutter an edge back. Now the rollers go onto here, and again a clean up. I'm cleaning up the exterior or the outside edge of with the part which rolls on the pipe. And for some reason I lost a bit of the filming where I cleaned up the inside edges, but it's basically the same, an abrasive against those faces. So there we are, the rollers are finished and the cutter. Now we're going to paint these red. That would have been the original colour. This is always an enjoyable bit, taking off the masking tape. Yeah, it seems to have come out really well. I'm happy with that. I think the finish on this part is reasonable. You know, it's not a mirror finish, but it doesn't need to be. It never would have been. Yeah, the contrast with the paint and the bright steel is great. There's a little problem here that there's a thrust washer. Well, there was a thrust washer in there, and it came out in 4 pieces. It was a hardened washer. This is the part of the thread which pushes against there. So I need to make up another washer. In this particular case, I'm not going to make it out of hard material because it won't really matter. Just giving it a little bit of a clean up. Now I've got this bolt. I've decided to oil blacken it. I think it will look nice in contrast against the shiny steel. This is sunflower oil that I'm using, and there it is, black. Finished with the washer. Now this is where I made a mistake. I have to sing the donkey because I put these rollers in and now of course it won't go in. So in the end I took them all off and started it all again. So in with the two rollers with some grease on them. And these are the pins that we made earlier. The stainless steel pins. So now we just need to put the split pins in. Split pins can be a bit awkward. So basically now we have the rollers. These are the parts which move against the tube and they're nicely free running. Now we're going to locate the cutter. So this is the part that cuts the tube. So we need to put two split pins in there and some washers. I've made two new washers here. They're made out of stainless. I suppose in the reality of today, people don't use split pins that much. They use other type of retaining things. They're just cheaper and easier to install. Now we're just going to run in the threaded part. This is the thrust washer that was broken and I made a new one. So that was the part that had broken into 4 parts. So now it goes back in with some grease. So that allows the threaded part to rotate against that washer while it's being pushed. Now this is the part that holds the thread in there with my new oil blackened bolt. So there we are, viewers, there's the finished item. I think it looks very respectable. I'm very happy with it. I'm just going to show you a couple of photographs of the before and after. There's the rusty piece. There you can see the new pins and the rollers. Again, nice and rusty. That was the original condition of the handle. We turned it back to that. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and as much as I enjoyed making it, and many thanks for joining. I'm just going to show you a demo of the tool working, cutting a piece of, albeit copper tube, but this could cut steel tube as well. You know, it cuts through it like butter. Once again, many thanks for watching the video and see you next time.